What is up, my friends? You are welcome along to Saturday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup, and I'm going to take you through the latest with Hugo Ekitike as the Reds prepare a massive offer. We're going to tell you why Ibrahima Konate's future will be resolved this summer. A little bit on Isak. We'll talk about Diaz as well, and the latest on Marc Guehi as he looks to be edging towards the Crystal Palace exit. So that and lots more to come. I will be live tonight, but it'll be 8 o'clock for the late night agenda as I want to watch the Usyk Dubois fight. So forgive me. If you want to join us tonight, though, 8 p.m. right here to go through these stories and more in greater detail, right? Until then, you know what to do. I don't need to tell you. I trust you. Let's get going. So, Alexander Isak's representatives have been keen to increase his wages, but Newcastle are unable to massively increase them at the minute because of their PSR constraints. So what does that mean? Well, one of two things. Either they find a way to increase his wages or they move him on. So let's wait and see which one happens. Now, we know that Al Hilal have been interested in trying to bring him over to the Saudi Pro League, but realistically, will Isak want to end his career with a League Cup winners medal from European football, or that's about it? Surely he'll want to look back at his time in football and win some major European honours. And to do that, well, he could come to Liverpool, couldn't he, Newcastle fans? Let's wait and see. Lots of people feel, by the way, that we're not finished with Isak, but I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. Let's move on, though, to Christian Falk, who said that Liverpool are preparing a mega offer of €100 million or £85 million to try to make sure we secure the services of Hugo Ekitike. Feels like we're paying a little bit too much, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. But if he's the number one target, I am not going to be at all annoyed. Well, if he's the new number one target, I'm not going to be at all annoyed as long as we get the deal wrapped up. The club will have their valuation on him, and if they feel comfortable at €100 million, who am I to argue with them? But on my research over the last day or two, it really does look like he's got something about him. Dare I say he's got a touch of the Bobby Firmino's with regards to his link-up play in that. So let me know your thoughts on that and the price tag in the comment section. But I'm going to keep moving because we do have a lot of stories to get through. Next up, we're going to speak about a piece with Sami Mokbel on Redmen, and he said Liverpool's interest in Marc Guehi is ongoing. Club-to-club talks with Crystal Palace should be expected to happen in the not-too-distant future. I think all parties probably realise that there is a deal to be done here. And look, that deal may well link into the situation with Konate, like I mentioned a moment ago. More on that to come. But Marc Guehi, I'd be more than happy if he came in. No matter what happens with Konate, I'd be delighted to welcome Marc Guehi to Liverpool Football Club. If Konate moves on, then I would imagine Liverpool will go in to bring in a younger centre-back as well. So you'd have Marc Guehi, Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, whoever the new young centre-back is, and then the likes of Nallo as a backup. Right, let's move on to Lucho as his move to Bayern Munich is edging closer. We know that he's going to be offered a salary of about €280,000 per week. So it's about £230,000. Certainly not one that Liverpool Football Club will be willing to pay. This piece here again from Christian Falk said there will be a meeting between Bayern and Liverpool for negotiations on the transfer of Luis Diaz very soon. Definitely looks like Lucho's heading towards the exit door, and it won't be to Barcelona because, well, they're taking Rashford. I'll give you a little bit on that in a second. Right, back to Hugo Ekitike here. Theo Squires has been writing to say Hugo Ekitike will become Liverpool's 15th permanent signing from the Bundesliga since 2014. That is actually quite an astounding stat, isn't it? 15th signing from the Bundesliga, permanent signing since 2014. It's the league they've turned to joint most during such a period. Any guesses on the other one? I don't know it, by the way, but feel free to have a go in the chat and let me know where you think the other one is. I haven't got a clue off the top of my head. Portugal? I don't know, maybe. Let me know. Who is it? Right, let's move on to Footy Insider. And this is the bit about Ibrahima Konate that will hopefully tie a lot of this together. So Footy Insider say this. Liverpool would demand at least £40 million to sell Ibrahima Konate this summer. But the club are extremely reluctant to sell the defender, but also do not plan to lose him on a free transfer. Fresh talks over a new contract are also set to be held. So one thing that I think we can see now is that it will be resolved this summer, one way or the other. It feels to me like it would be foolish to let him run down his deal and leave for free. I've always been of that mindset. Yes, an extension would be the first priority, but if we can't, then £40 million feels about right to sell him this summer. Would Real Madrid be willing to pay that? Time will tell, but hopefully we can get a contract renewal sorted. If not, it's going to be resolved this summer. So do keep an eye on this space. If we move for Marc Guehi as well, will that give us an indication, or would that just be Liverpool playing it safe? Let me know your thoughts on this one, because the centre-back is an area where lots of people are feeling a little bit concerned, because Liverpool are obviously moving for Hugo Ekitike. We've obviously brought in Florian Wirtz, filled in the full-back positions, but right now, Reds are still feeling a little bit concerned. But don't worry, the lads will have it at hand. Right, Romano saying Bayern Munich are set to bid again very soon for Luis Diaz with an approved offer on their initial bid of €67 million. Now, I mentioned to you about Marcus Rashford and Barcelona a moment ago. Well, Romano said Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. Here we go. Verbal agreement in principle between all parties involved, with Barca planning for medical tests in the next few days. Loan deal with option to buy. For what it's worth, that option to buy is rumoured to be €35 million, which is about, what, £28 million. And it is an option to buy, not an obligation, an option. He said Manchester United will authorise his travel to Spain in the coming days to undergo that medical. So there we go. Marcus Rashford looks like he's finally getting his dream move to Barcelona. Will he be able to live up to the standards over there? Well, I've already seen Barcelona fans talk about the fact that they don't want him, they don't want it to be extended, and he'd have to have a Ballon d'Or-esque style season to change their mind. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Right, Rodrigo, Liverpool, what's happening there? So, Rodrigo is in two minds, said Fabrizio Romano. He loves Real Madrid and feels he could still give a lot to the club, but feels the opportunity to be a star at another club as well. He is now deciding his future. Look, one thing I would say here to Rodrigo's camp is, if you're going to leave, stop with the he loves Madrid crap, because that's not going to endear you to your new fans at whatever club it comes to, and hopefully that club will be Liverpool. But if you're going to leave Madrid, well then stop fawning about Madrid and just put it behind you and move on and be excited about your next chapter. If that's in the Premier League with Liverpool, probably not going to be with Arsenal at this point, but you never know. Do keep an eye on it. Also, Manchester City may sniff around, but for what it's worth, I can see a world where Liverpool bring in Rodrigo, especially if we do get Marc Guehi in, fill that homegrown quota as well. Yeah, I could see it, and I'd be very excited about it. I know Liverpool fans are mixed on this one, so do let me know what you guys think. But for me, I'd be more than happy to welcome Rodrigo into the club. Rodrigo left with Cody Gakpo as an option. Salah right, to the centre Ekitike, behind him Szoboszlai Wirtz. Come on now, it's pretty exciting. Right, next up, The Athletic said Alexander Isak is not in Newcastle squad for their friendly against Celtic, with the club insisting that his minutes are being managed and it's unconnected to his future. Thoughts? Some people are putting two and two together and coming up with, well, all manner of numbers. I don't know, to be honest with you folks, but remember, we did something similar when our first preseason friendly came up. Virgil didn't play, Alisson didn't play, Maka didn't play, lots of them didn't play. So people may be reading too much into this, or there may be something to it. But either way, until Alexander Isak puts pen to paper on a new deal at Newcastle, you're not going to see Liverpool's interest go away. It is clear and it is sincere. Harvey Elliott, as we mentioned as well, do keep an eye on him over the coming weeks as well. Offers from Germany, like we've spoken about. We talked about Bayer Leverkusen in the past. The RB Leipzig move might be off the table, as they've just signed 3 players in quick succession. One of them being Johan Bakayoko from PSV. So that's another player that we can rule out that Liverpool had looked at in the past. Tyler Morton, nothing new on him really as of yet. Still trying to figure out what's going on in the left-back position as well. Is it going to be Costas that moves on, or Randy Robertson? You would imagine that the Reds will figure that out soon. And Arne Slot is taking somewhat of a medium-sized squad, let's say, over to the pre-season tour of Hong Kong and Japan. Lots of the younger players aren't going to be going, as per reports today. So again, looks like Arne is getting serious now and really tailoring the programme to get the boys ready for that first game of the season against Bournemouth. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me for now, but I will be back tonight, as I mentioned, 8 o'clock for the late night agenda. If you'd like updates quickly, direct to your phone, make sure you scan that QR code there on the screen and join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp community. And also, our last ever live show is taking place. If you'd like to come and see us, we will be at the Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool, Sunday, October the 19th. Myself, Chris Stonage, Steve Bland, musical act, and lots of fun and shenanigans for our last ever stage show. It's an all ages event and tickets are priced at just £15. Last one I'm ever going to do. So if you want to come along, say hello, have a photo and have a chat, you know what to do. Scan the QR code or have a look in the description of this video. Right, my friends, enjoy your weekend. As I mentioned, 8 o'clock tonight. I will be back live tomorrow because that family dinner's been pushed back a week that I mentioned. So we'll be with you tomorrow night as well. Lots to go through. Things are really heating up before the Reds head off the pre-season. We'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock. And again, appreciate your support. Much love, my friends. Bye-bye.